We don't want to restore things back to the way they were. We don't want to put a bandage over the wounds that were created from these systemic issues, but we rather want to get into the root of the problem and kind of transform the systems that created them in the first place.
So YPAR stands for Youth Participatory Action Research.
Young people, youth, sort of decide what are the issues they care about or that they're being impacted by that they want to do something about.
Our first step in doing our YPAR project is to come together and identify a problem we want to focus on. We take the time to do a big brainstorm and think about all the problems in our school and our community. Then we go through a process to pick the one we feel most strongly about. Last year, Palante hosted a school assembly for the Latinx Heritage Month. Because it directly addressed racism and white supremacy, we experienced some intense backlash.
Once that happened, we just got the instant motive to take on that action, for the simple fact that in that event, racism was shown.
It was just affecting so many people within the school, and it was like racism was just thrown in their face so much that it couldn't be just pushed to the side anymore.
Once we've identified a problem, it's time to do a bunch of research so that we fully understand it. In order to do this, we use a mixed methods approach, which just means we try to address it from different angles.
Palante split up into a few different sections. So one of the sections would be interviewing. So that section interviewed students, interviewed teachers, parents, community members, staff.
We found out that basically teachers said that there wasn't really a problem of racism, but a lot of students believed there were. We found out a lot of Caucasian people were more seen as successful.
This wall is people who graduated from Holyoke and are considered successful, but we felt it was a little prejudiced because there's only one African American and maybe 2 or 3 women, and I don't see any other person of color.
This is supposed to represent, successful graduates. What's that telling, the lack of people of color? What's that telling our students?
It doesn't have a lot of, people from that back up our culture, so to speak.
There was a sign in front of the school where it said no hangueo, and it was only in Spanish. And it was also not proper Spanish.
And who is being targeted by that sign that's in slang in Spanish? It kind of assumes that those people who would be hanging out in front of the school are the Puerto Rican students, Spanish-speaking students, students of color at Holyoke High School.
We're just expected to kind of come to school, not really care, slack off, just occupy space essentially.
And we saw the No Hangueo sign really as an icon of the stigmatization of the Spanish language, which so often is used in ways that end up marginalizing Puerto Rican students within Holyoke.
In Palante, we don't just talk about problems. We find solutions and turn our research into action.
I'm so excited to see the work that the Palante students and advisors have done in order not just to have those signs taken down, but really to commemorate that they even existed in the first place, to locate these struggles around language in relation to broader political struggles.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
And there's big hype, the sign's getting taken down, the sign's getting taken down.
It's a statement. It's definitely clearly a statement that we're here and we're here to stay. Yeah?
Be in this picture.
Oh, us?
Yeah.
Oh, we This is great. Perfect. Now you're leaving.
What we're doing is a project called Paper City Hidden Legends.
Yeah, we're remodeling into another wall to basically show a reflection of what the Holyoke community looks like.
We're currently researching the historical community leaders and change makers that reflect the diversity of Holyoke. To do the research, we've been spending time going through archives as well as talking to community members.
So for people who say Puerto Ricans haven't been around long enough, we've been here since the 40s and the 50s, working, doing the work. There's a long history since the 70s of resilience and organizing. And our students can't take pride in that because they don't know it. So you need to incorporate people who know those stories, who are important, who give meat and foundation to this work.
So we're going to narrow it down to 30 legends, take high quality photographs, write short biographies of them, and create a permanent exhibit in our school. This will ensure that students for many generations to come will have this source to see the people who have built our community.
My advice to other schools who would want to do this work is that you need to address the interpersonal issues, but you also need to address structural injustice, because the interpersonal issues are almost always connected to what is going on structurally in a school. So that if you're not addressing things like racism, classism, sexism, homophobia, the real culture of the school, then you're missing the most important piece.
So there's a lot of inequities in the way we're treating students based on what they look like or what language they speak or what school they come from, and I think this program has allowed us to have some difficult conversations about privilege and race and inequity.
Even though there is still more work to do, there is no doubt that our YPAR projects have already changed our school. There is more support and more representation of people of color, and we're going to keep making change until we build a school of our dreams.
Same city, different lights, different views, different walks of life come in different shoes, different love, different hate, different truths, a different me always mean a different you.